Om Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Sathya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam online classes in science, sources of energy. In that we have already seen part 1 and part 2. Coming to part 3, let us just revise what we have seen in the previous class. We have seen how energy is very important in daily life. Not only human beings, plants also want energy, animals also want energy. So energy is something very, very important for all walks of life. That you have seen already. Fossil fuels. When you say fossil fuels, you have coal, petroleum and natural gas. We have seen the advantages of fossil fuels and also the limitations of fossil fuels, right? And also you have studied about thermal power plant, where coal energy is made use of converted into electrical energy. We have discussed that it is in Raichur, Shaktinagar. So thermal power plant is also one of the sources of energy. And hydropower plant, where the moving water is controlled by putting dams, and the potential energy is converted into kinetic and then to electrical energy by using turbines. You can produce electricity. We have discussed about in detail that how in Linganamaki and Shimsha and other places this hydropower plant is made use of. It is a major solution for the energy crisis. And lastly, we have seen also about biomass, the waste of humans, plants, animals, etc. This is what is called as biomass. It is converted into biogas, and the gas is mainly methane, and it can be used for different purposes of heating, lighting, etc. And also we discussed there are two type of biogas plants. One is fixed dome type, another is floating type. So even government also is encouraging for that. It is a pollution free plants. Also we have studied about wind energy, how wind energy was being used of in the olden days. Now how it is being used, where the rotating fans, the kinetic energy of the fans is made use of to produce electricity, and it is one of the very safest way of producing energy, and that all we have discussed in the previous class. Now let us go through the home assignment once. First question, what are the disadvantages of fossil fuels? Of course, when you say disadvantage, you must know what are the advantages also. I need not tell about that. Coal is mainly used for production of electricity. It is a very good fuel used in trains and used in ships and so on. And petroleum, it has got about 2,500 products, mainly being petrol and diesel, which are used in vehicles, aeroplanes and so on. And also natural gas is a very good fuel used for cooking purposes in factories and so on. Now there are some disadvantages. What are disadvantages? First one is air pollution caused by burning coal or petroleum products. Gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen peroxide, etc. They are produced. Some of them are very harmful also. And second one is acid rain caused by the oxides of carbon and sulfur, nitrogen, etc. When they mix with the water vapors, they form what are called as acid rains. acid rains, which will affect the water and also soil, which will affect the agriculture and also habitation of animals, birds, human beings and so on. So acid rain is one of the most dangerous effects of the use of fossil fuels. In spite of this disadvantages, the advantages are more and that is why it is universally used all over the world. And coming to second question, the third use is carbon dioxide formed by burning fossil fuels will cause what is called as greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is excess of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. It may be Earth or it may be any other planets like Venus has got lot of greenhouse effect because excess of carbon dioxide, and that is not good for health. And this greenhouse effect increases the global temperature. As I just now told you, in Venus also it is one of the brightest planet. The brightness is due to the high temperature that is produced due to greenhouse gas. Similarly, Earth also gets heated up due to the greenhouse gas. So these are the disadvantages of fossil fuels. And the second question, why are you looking at alternate source of energy? So as there are some disadvantages in the fossil fuels, we are thinking of the alternate sources. These fossil fuels are used from ancient times. The wood also, charcoal, coal, petrol, all these are used for many hundreds of years. But the use of these fossil fuels is in a alarming stage, wherein all the sources are being depleted, and that's why there is a absolute necessity of conserving them, and there will be an acute shortage of these fossil fuels as they are used at a tremendous rate. If you go to any cities of today, we find some thousands of vehicles. Bangalore city is famous. The whole of Asia, the highest vehicle jam is in Bangalore because the roads are congested, the number of vehicles are increasing, and one of the reason is these fossil fuels are also used in vehicles and also in industries, and therefore it should be conserved. That's why all the scientists, all the thinkers are finding some alternative source of energy. And now let us see what are the different possibility of the alternate source of energy. However, the traditional use of wind and water energy has been modified for our convenience. Earlier, the wind energy was made use of used in the form of what is called as windmills, and these windmills are used to draw water from wells to grain, to powder the grains, what you call flour mills and so on. And water energy also was used for agriculture purpose, and they are used for drinking purpose, cooking, etc., etc. Now they have been modified. The flowing water by the construction of dams at higher places stores water, and this water, when it is made to flow in the pipes, it moves the turbines, and hence it produces electricity. where the kinetic energy is converted into electric energy. So that is how the flowing water is made use of. Secondly, we have the wind energy. The blades of the windmill is made use of for the production of electricity with the help of moving turbines. Again, the kinetic energy of the blades, where the belts are connected to turbines, and these turbines rotate, producing enormous amount of electric energy. That is how the traditional use has been transferred into the present day uses of the world. And now let us discuss about today's topic, alternative source of energy. It's also called non-conventional source of energy. So with the technological progress, our demand for energy increases day by day. Our lifestyles are also changing. Means in the olden days, people who used to walk so much of distances, or they used to have bicycles for 2 kilometers schooling, and then even we also in young age we used to walk 2-3 kilometers every day. But now the condition has changed. Nobody is ready to walk. Even for 1 kilometer also they want some bike or car or something. That is the order of the day. And in the earlier days there were very good, they used to enjoy the nature of climbing trees, swimming, and plowing in the farms and so on. But nowadays they all become mechanized, and this has been replaced, and even industrialization also has improved the living standards. And for this, of course, one of the reasons is there is an explosion of population, and when there is a lot of population, the demand also is more. So all the governments of the world are thinking of different sources of energy by which the demand is met. And one of them is what is called as solar energy. What is mean solar energy? The energy got from sun. What is sun? Sun is one of the smallest stars in the galaxy. What is galaxy? Galaxy is a huge collection of stars. There are about 10 to the power of 11 galaxies in the universe. And in that every universe there will be, in every galaxy there will be 10 to the power of 11 stars. And sun is one such. And the sun is there from 5 billion years. Billion means 1 billion is equal to 1000 million. So the age of the sun is 5 billion years, and he will be there radiating at energy for 5 billion years more. 1 billion is equal to 1000 million. 1 million is equal to 1000 thousands. Okay. So that is 10 lakhs, 1 million. So he will be there for 5 billion years more, and continuously he is giving energy, and that energy is called as solar energy. The solar energy, only a small part of solar energy reaches the outer layer of the Earth's atmosphere. Nearly half of it is absorbed while passing through the atmosphere, and rest reaches the Earth's surface. So what is the distance of the sun? It is called as solar constant. The sun is about 150 million years. Solar constant is the distance between the sun and the earth. So it is about 150 million years. and a ray of light will take about 8 minutes to reach the earth. It is not exact value, approximately. That is called solar constant. And distance of the stars and other galaxies is measured in terms of what is called as light year. Light year is the year, or it is the distance travelled by a ray of light at the rate of 3 lakhs kilometer per second in 1 year. So in that speed, a ray of light will take about 8 or 8.3 minutes to reach the earth's surface. And solar cooker is one of the devices of using the solar energy. A black surface, what is the principle? Principle is that black surface absorbs more heat when compared to white or reflecting surface under identical conditions. For that, what you have to do is, you can also experiment in your home. Take 2 glass containers, say a beaker or a flask, better a flask, and fill it with water. One of the flasks should be painted black, another should be painted white, and they should be kept for sunlight from morning till evening. You just observe which will become more hot, and if you observe it in a fixed time, you observe that the black body or the flask with black paint will be, water of that will be more hotter than that of a white painted, which means that black surface absorbs more heat. And also you might have seen umbrellas. Umbrella, that black in color, you will not get any white colors, isn't it? So because of the heat that is there, reflecting surface under identical conditions, solar cookers and solar water heaters. Nowadays, almost every house will have a water heater that is solar. Even though investment in the beginning may be little more, but it is very advantageous, very safe, very clean, cheap and best. One investment little costly, but for that, after that, the maintenance is very cheap. So they have a higher temperature by using mirrors. There will be mirrors to focus the rays of the sun. So solar cookers are covered with a glass plate. In some of the villages, even now also they use the solar cookers, where there is no problem of firewood, no problem of LPG gas, and so on. So there is a model of the solar cooker. The sun's rays are falling on it. It is a wooden box painted black inside, and there will be a mirror here. What does the mirror do? It focuses the sun rays. So the sun rays will fall onto the mirror, and there will be a glass plate here to cover this box. Why a glass plate? That will make the sun's rays fall, and also to avoid dust particles to fall into the food. So whatever food is to be cooked, say rice with proper quantity of water, or a tur dal, or whatever it is, vegetables and so on, they are kept in the small bowls inside the box. You can also prepare your own. Okay. So, and a mirror is to be kept. So sun's rays are to be made to fall onto that in an inclined way, not directly, because if it comes in inclined way, you have studied about laws of reflection. Angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, R, I is equal to R. So if it is inclined like this, after reflection, it will fall onto the food, whatever he kept. Okay. So this is a glass sheet here, the wooden box. So solar cooker, one of the safest device of cooking things, and of course there are some limitations in this. As you know, we will discuss that after this. Solar cell is another device which converts solar energy into electricity. We have discussed in the first period itself that energy from one form can be converted to another. Here the solar energy is converted into electrical energy. How it is done? By means of silicon cells. They are made up of silicon, and sometimes they use iridium also. Silicon is a non-metal, and it is very helpful for absorbing sun's rays. It produces a voltage of 0.5 volts to 1 volt and can produce 0.7 watts of electricity. That is how the power is measured. What is power? P is equal to work done in a unit time, W by T, and work done is measured in terms of joules. So if a device does work in 1 joule in 1 second, we call it as 1 watt. So 1 watt of energy means, so 1 watt is equal to, if a device does a work of 1 joule per every second, that power is called as 1 watt, and this is work done, and second is the time. So higher unit is kilowatts, kilowatt, and they use sometimes WH also when you tell in terms of units, and you also have got 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1000 watts, and then you have megawatts also, 1000 watts per hour, and that is 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So you have 1000 multiplied by 60 into 60, 3600 so much of joules per second. Okay, that is 1 kilowatt hour. 1 megawatt means it is equal to 10 to the power of 3 kilowatts, and 1 kilowatt is equal to 10 to the power of 3 watts. So you have 10 to the power of 6 watts. Okay, these are different units of measuring the power. So here it produces 0.7 watts, one small cell, very easy to transfer from place to place, and very handy also. A large, but one cell will not is sufficient for any work. So you have to use a large number of solar cells are needed, or combined arrangement called solar cell panel that can deliver enough electricity for practical use. You might have seen in many of the houses, on the top of the house they will have these solar panels. So you can see here, these are called solar panels. They are kept inclined so that sun's rays will fall on that, and the sun's rays will heat these solar panels, and there will be what is called as copper tubes or pipes here, and these copper pipes get heated up. There will be a sheet of rubber sheets will be there in black in color. Why black? because it absorbs more heat. So this solar energy comes here and gets converted into electric energy, and even this is being supplied to the grid supply. We can transfer from one house to another also, and you can transfer to many places also, for which you must have more and more panels. This is what is called as solar panel. They are inclined, and there will be a supply of cold water from one side. The water gets heated up and it becomes steam. The steam will rotate the turbines. The turbines will naturally form what is called as electricity. So solar energy is converted to electrical energy, a very safe device and very pure device, no pollution here. And as all of you know, the water, the air, the sun, all this energy is free. That's all by God's grace. Whatever man touches, whatever man involves, there will be a charge for that. Tax, he has to pay tax. Whatever God has given, there is no tax. That's why you must give tax as prayer, okay? That's why you are supposed to do prayers. Be grateful for God for giving all these forms of energy free of cost, pollution free also. So then the solar energy is transferred to the transformers and to many places like that. And then advantages of solar cells. Solar cells have no moving parts, require little maintenance work. These cells can be set up in remote places or very sparely inhabited areas in which laying of a power transmission line may be expensive and not commercially viable. So you can have the solar panels at all places. But important is you must keep these panels facing sun. That is very important, in an inclined way, because due to reflection the sun's rays will be made use of to produce electricity. There are some disadvantages of all solar devices. Here in solar cells we want silicon for making solar cells. There is a special type of silicon is there, not ordinary, which is very less available in nature. Ordinary silicon is available in plenty, but a special type of silicon that are made use of in the solar cells are very less. The entire process of manufacture is very expensive, as silver is used for interconnection of the cells. So between the cells there will be a lining of silver. So silver is very expensive, and that's why it is also one of the problems. And applications where it is used, the solar cells are used for many scientific and technological applications. Of course, you boys or girls know very well how the solar cells are used in calculators, in toy games, is it not? And many of the electronic devices, and even now you have solar cars and artificial satellites. What is satellite? Satellite is a heavenly body which go around the planets. For example, moon is a natural satellite which go around the earth. But artificial satellite like Bhaskara, Aryabhata, Rohini, IRS series and so on, all these are called artificial satellites, means man-made satellites. And space probes, they are also driven out from the earth by the help of rockets and all. So they use solar cells there. They will have solar panels. When these rockets move to great heights, the solar panels will automatically open up and energy is received from the satellite, especially satellites when they are made to go in the space. For example, in India we have a GSLV, Geostationary Launch Vehicle. So GSLV, PSLV and so on. So these geostationary satellites or polar satellites, all these they absorb the energy from the sun in the form of solar panels. That is the main source of energy. And also TV relay stations in remote locations, means villages and all, they will have the solar cells or solar panels. Radio or wireless transmission systems use solar cells because it is very economical. Of course, the first stage it will be costly, but once it is done, maintenance work is very less and also it is safe also. And traffic signals, calculators and many toys. The children play with many toys. That toys will be having small cells inside and it is easy for recharging also. Just to keep in front of the tube light or any form of light, or you can keep in sunlight, it gets absorbed, no need of wire and all. So calculators also, traffic signals, one of the most interesting, most useful signals. So the whole universe is generated, controlled by that unseen hand. He controls the whole universe. He creates, then he called as Brahma. He protects, then he called as Vishnu. He destroys also, then he called as Maheshwara. So, but everything is controlled by the unseen hand. And similarly, traffic also send a signal. You have seen in cities, there will be 3 lights in that. The red light symbolizes that you must stop, the vehicle should stop. Orange signals refers that you be ready. Green means you can start. That is how the vehicles are controlled. So they are all done by solar cells. So anyway, solar cells are very much advantageous, even though there are some limitations. They are very advantageous. Even solar cookers also, the main disadvantage of solar cooker is that the sunlight will not be same at all times. And in rainy season it will be very difficult because there is no sun at all. In rainy seasons, very less quantity of sun, solar radiations. And also when the clouds and all come, the sun's rays will not fall on the cookers. So they have their own limitations. But for that, it is also one of the devices wherein the cooking also can be done by the help of solar energy. Now let us see some energy from the sea. There are 3 types here. One is called tidal energy. How many have seen sea? S-E-A. There are 2 C here. S-E-E means seeing. S-E-A means that a very huge reservoir of water. And what is the difference between sea and ocean? Ocean means still large area. If it covers the sea, if it covers large area, it is called ocean. Both are same salt water they contain. Now let us see in brief how this energy can be made use of. Before that you should know how that tides form. If you have gone to seashore, if you have not gone, please go with your parents. If you go to the coastal area of western coast like Mangaluru, Goa, Karwar and so on, very beautiful. You can see sunset. The same time, if you go to the east coast like Chennai or Pondicherry or any other places like that, you find the sea on the other side, Vishakhapatnam and all. When sunrise you can see. One of the portion you can see sunrise, the portion you can see sunset. Whereas if you go to Kanyakumari, you can see both sunrise on the eastern side, sunset on the western side. And the most interesting point is that it consists of waves. How are waves caused? Waves are caused because of the gravitational pull of earth and the moon, or earth and the sun. So these gravitation pull makes these waves in this ocean, and that is called as what you call as tides. And this tide also has lot of energy. This tidal energy, if these made use of, now the experiment is going on, that is due to the gravitational pull of mainly moon on the spinning earth. Most wondrous thing is that earth also rotates. Fortunately, we don't experience it. We say sun rises and sun sets, but actually sun is neither rising nor setting. Earth is rotating. While the daytime here is the night time in other part of the globe like America. Now it is night time there. What is daytime there, it will be night for us, because rotation of the earth. So rotation of the earth, spinning of the earth, and level of water in the sea rises and falls. There will be what is called as rising and falls of the waves. Difference in the sea levels gives us tidal energy. There will be a lot of energy produced in that. That is harnessed by constructing a dam. So a dam is to be constructed across a narrow opening to the sea. And when a dam is constructed, when the waves come and fall on the dam, that energy is made use of to rotate the turbines. Turbine fixed at the opening of the dam converts tidal energy into electricity. And some of the countries have already started this, especially Russia and many other countries of Europe also. So that is one of the sources of energy. Another one is wave energy. A wide variety of devices have been developed only when waves are very strong to trap wave energy for rotation of turbine and production of electricity. The third one is called ocean thermal energy. It is called OTEC, ocean thermal energy. The water in the surface of ocean is heated by the sun, while the water in the deeper section is relatively cold. As all of you make out, the top surface of the ocean will be hot because of the sun's rays falling on that. Whereas if you go inside, it will not be so much hot. There will be a difference in the temperature. That difference, if temperature is exploited to obtain energy in ocean thermal energy conversion plants, so that is made use of. The difference in the energy of the surface of water and the water inside, that is made use of in the plants. So there are devices. So this also is under experimentation, and it is also one of the good solutions for that. And after knowing about ocean energy, one more source of energy is geothermal. Geo means what? Geo is earth. Thermal means what? Temperature. As you know, our earth has got 4 layers. Just like your apple, apple, earth can be compared to apple very well. I think all of you have eaten apple, right? So the shape of the earth is called as geoid shape, and there will be a thin layer, right? And that is called as earth crust, just as you have orange color, sometimes you red also. So the thin layer of apple, as you have seen, same way there will be crust about 30 to 35 kilometers. Within that we have got, as you have juicy material in apple, you have got mantle, second layer. The third layer is, inside you can find one greenish thing, and that is called as core. Within that core there will be seeds in apple, right? Like that, here there will be one more called as inner core. Earth crust, mantle, core, outer core, inner core. They are the layers of the earth's surface. So what I mean to say is, in the earth's crust, if you go below the earth's crust, that there will be lot of very high temperature will be there. So due to geographical changes, molten rocks are formed in the deeper hot regions of the earth's crust, are pushed upward and trapped in certain regions called as hot spots. How do you get temperature inside earth's surface? That is, the trees of olden age, some thousands of years ago, the very big trees, when they fall down to earth's surface due to wind or rains or earthquake and so on, they get buried down in the earth's crust, and due to high temperature and pressure, they get converted into what are called as, some of them will convert into the petroleum, some of them will convert into coal, that is in earth's crust. Still, if you go deeper, we have that is what is called as hot spots. Also, you might have heard about hot springs in countries like USA, New Zealand, etc. We may find that hot springs where the hot water within the earth's surface will come out in a very high speed. When the underground water comes in contact with the hot spot, steam is generated. So there will be formation of steam, and this sometimes hot water from that region finds outlets at the surface. Such outlets are called as hot springs. They are all natural phenomenon. For example, if you go to Maharashtra, there is a place called Ganeshpuri. We find some 7 ponds. It gives very hot water. Or if you go to Badri, even the temperature there is minus 1, -2, -5, etc. in the winters. There is a pond which gives very high temperature water pool there, up to 70 to 80 degrees centigrade. Very difficult to take bath there. One side minus temperature, another side very hot. Why it happens? That is due to this, what is called as hot spots. So when hot spots comes in contact with this hot water, comes out in the form of hot springs. They rush, or you can gush out. The stream trapped in rocks is routed through a pipe and a turbine and used to generate electricity. So the steam that comes out is made use of to generate electricity. So that is one of the ways. Of course, the amount of electricity produced will be very less, and also not in all parts of the earth. Very few places where you have these hot spots, such things will be there. So For example, in USA and New Zealand, we can find such geothermal power stations. And also note that if you become scientist, now you are students now of class 10th. After PUC, if you do BSc or MSc and then do research, how can you get the temperature within the earth's surface, within the earth's crust? Suppose you are able to harness it, if you are able to get it, lot of the energy problems of today will be solved. But you must also note that it is very difficult to pull out the water because no iron, no zinc, no metal will be there at that temperature of something like 3000 degrees Celsius. All will melt off. So, you must think of devices which can withstand the high temperature, and then we can draw water from the bowels of the earth, and that is why it is called as geothermal. Geo means earth, thermal means hot, is it not? So, the hotness of the earth's surface can be got out by means of special kind of bore wells, and then that hot springs may be made use of to rotate turbines which can give electricity. So, anyway, geothermal energy is one form of energy which can be made use of to produce electricity, or it is one form of energy which solves the present energy crisis. Okay. Now, let us see some home assignment. First question, name two energy sources that you would consider to be a renewable. Give reasons for your choices. Second, compare and contrast biomass and hydroelectricity as sources of energy. So, you must compare these two, and also you must tell limitations of these two. What are the limitations of extracting energy from the wind, the waves, the tides? Is it okay? So, come prepared for that. In the next class, you must be ready with the answers for this. So, by that, we will conclude this topic. Okay, wish you all best of luck. Thank you.